let's put it to bed. Or at least start to tuck it in.
Oh, Jesus.
God, these textures, they're horrible.
I'm right there with you, Soapy.
You gonna leave him like that?
They've been left as a warning. Cut them down, they might put us there instead.
Hi, guys.
Well, that was
We
convenient.
might end up there anyway.
Wah wah. Also, did you briefly see the textures loading in on that cutscene?
Yes.
I seek something you possess.
So, have you, in between our recordings, have you kind of figured out where you think the cross might be? Because we've seen it, the other half of the cross, because we've seen it before. Uh-oh. Cole's making a connection, and I sense another flashback's coming. By the way, I was wrong about this flashback. It actually does take place on the map. It was supposed to. Like in this area. You actually go back to this area later.
Oh, boy. There's like half a chair in there.
Hide yourselves.
And take this CPR practice baby doll with you. Damn it, are you retconning your own flashback again? There were a couple of lines of dialogue in between. I remember from that video.
Don't be baby Cole.
I love how in this scenario Ned just treats getting shot in the head like someone whacked him on the back of the head with a pool noodle.
Oh no.
The baby. I will now accept Jesus, my Lord and Savior, into my heart.
That was me. I'm that kid.
Yup. That is apparently supposed to explain how Cole
I understand
magically knew
that.
Apache this whole time.
Stolen cross.
No.
beating on the steers.
No.
Even though by this point he barely had a language center in his brain.
Trying to make things right, but Magruder caught on. I came here to unite the pieces of this cross. I never expected all this.
Frankly, neither did we.
Oh.
The cross was in his axe handle the whole time.
There's a Latin phrase on each arm. It looks like some kind of...
So someone in the comments, I forget who, was hoping that this would turn into like an Uncharted spin-off, that we would go to Kivera. Well, guess what?
Oh, pack your bags, kids.
We're gonna take that cross and find Kivera. So, this is just an ammo refill before we go down to join Many Wounds. We're now in the official end game. This is pretty much the point of no return. If you hadn't done any side quests before, well, tough shit.
You're done.
So, Many Wounds is speaking English here. I think it's supposed to be implied that he's speaking Apache and it's just being translated for the benefit of the audience. Also, I love how Magruder is given the nickname One Eye by the Apaches.
Well, he is kind of a dick.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about how many child soldiers he recruited back in Zanzibar.
Roadhogs!
Road Buffalo, I guess.
Those ruins are all that remain of your family's house.
So the game does a terrible job of directing you to where to look, but it's the house's ruins are back where we found the back where that magical chimney was, where with all of the infinitely restoring ammo.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it right there. Now we're in a big old gunfight. Now we have 2 NPCs to protect.
Oh, they're switching up a little.
Yep, and there's we're in a nice wide open area here. I don't think Many Wounds warriors need to survive. I think it's just Soapy and Many Wounds himself. I think Many Wounds is also playable in the multiplayer of the PSP version, but I don't remember offhand. Yeah, using the...
Excuse me, Soap.
Using the rifle on horseback is way more satisfying than the shotgun, actually, but it's a lot harder to aim.
I must tend to my brothers. You will have to go on without us. The site lies at the top of the mountain north of the water called Piper Lake.
And finally, this version of the game actually gets use out of that one area with the dynamite sequence in the PSP version. So, we're gonna learn how Soapy got his nickname. None of this is subtitled in the original version, by the way.
Why, one time I was forced to make a rather abrupt departure from the Big Wheel Hotel in St. Louis. I was emptying the copper of a particularly rich industrialist when I was discovered by his mistress, who let out a scream that would deafen a cannoneer. Yeah, in no time the house detective arrived, leaving me no choice but to escape via the waste chute leading from the ladies' water closet. Yeah, of course, the view from down there was better than any 2-bit bawdy house peep show. So I decided to stay a spell.
Soap.
Imagine, if you will, the scrubbing I needed when I finally emerged from that cesspit 2 days later.
This joke has not aged well.
No, it's aged perfectly.
Yeah, the news surrounding Chris Hansen has just broke at the time of recording, so that's... Anyway, yeah, that is why Soap got his nickname. Although I like how it's left to the implication as to whether it was because of all of the shit that was on him, or whether it's because he was jacking off to the women that he was seeing in the bathroom. It's up to the viewer to decide. It leaves a little ambiguity to his character. Now, here's another, one last beast. That is scripted to attack him, and it does a lot of damage. But I was ahead of the game. I knew what I was doing. Anyway, once we walk up this mountain, it's mission complete.
The easiest mission in the game.
And we got a dynamite bow.
Oh, we Rambo now, boys.
Looks like Magruder's already found it.
It can't be that easy. He only had half the cross.
Yeah, this cutscene could be taken straight out of Uncharted, I feel.
From God's altar.
It's also here where you can, on the PC version, you can really see the terrible Latin English mix on the cross here.
Spires of heaven, when sun and moon meet.
I'll have more to say about that once this cutscene finishes.
There. They missed the mark. It's above the mine, not below.
Get up there in the wall!
Kid, get down!
Cannon blindness is a serious affliction. Ask your doctor.
Sorry, Soap.
Oh, it's not over for Soapy yet. Oh no. It's Dutchy? I think that's his name.
You're gonna find out why they call me Dutchy.
It's because he's from Amsterdam.
You're gonna die today.
Anyway, this fight's tough, but also not that interesting. So, I'll take this time to tell you that, assuming that Soapy's translation is accurate, if it were actually Latin on the cross, it would have read, Ab ara Dei inter Dei lacrimas et culmina caeli, cum sol et luna conveniens, ecce regnum suum. Special thanks to Quintus from the LatinTranslator.com for providing me that excellent translation.
I am impressed.
And Nolan North is back to voicing those the militiamen, not just the renegade soldiers.
He's everywhere in this game.
Wow, we blew that guy up so much that his entire character model disappeared. Oh no, Soapy!
Soapy, have a seat. Have a seat right over
Now
there.
he'll never play the harp again.
No way.
Dutchy.
Wait.
For the love of God, Dutchy, say something! You haven't spoken in 20 years!
You gotta dig up, you damn fool. It's above you.
Of course.
Dig up.
So they actually bothered to give somewhat of an animation to the rest of Soapy's fingers blown off. And yet they hid so much else when it comes to excessive violence that causes changes to character models. I do not understand the animation priorities in this game at all.
That's him. Get him.
It's the end game. You gotta make it look good.
Come get it, you son of a bitch. Fuse his lip. Go.
So the enemies were trying to throw dynamite back at me, but the angle at which that enemy was throwing meant that he kind of threw straight up in the air and back at the rest of his friends. Also, I was trying to see if there was an extra wave of enemies that I could shoot with a Gatling gun, but nope, they actually sort of camp out a little further up to make sure that you push forward. I was trying to see if I could sort of kite them back, but it only partially worked. And even then, not really, because they really want you to make sure you go down the mountain.
Left charge.
Anyway, but the most difficult part of this whole section is really that you're in really small choke points, really narrow corridors with lots of explosives, and basically, if you're not charging through with lots of dynamite and everything else, also make sure to scalp. That's really important. It has many tactical advantages. It is perhaps the most useful move in the entire game.
We're just gonna cover ourselves in scalps.
See,
Scare the shit up.
Also,
Whoa.
I got a 6x combo on explosions. I was not expecting that.
These soldiers are not very good.
I actually blame McGruder for that one, because clearly his strategy was just sending guys into a massive choke point where they could all get slaughtered really easily.
Get up there and get them. Okay, boss.
Okay, I said before that the Confederate army were like were like the mystical Gestapo from Indiana Jones, but now they're basically Zerglings.
Can you move? On the other side of this hill, many wounds, and his warriors are gathering with Clay Allison and his men. Tell him to meet me back here at dawn.
Where are you going?
You want your
Getting the hell out of this game. I know what's coming in the final level. I don't want to be anywhere near this crap.
Oh.
So we got a boss fight against Dutchy. It's supposed to be difficult, but if you have max rifle stats, it can be completed almost instantly. I think I killed Dutchy in about 5 seconds.
Just a little bit of cheese, folks.
Oh, sorry, he has one more wave of reinforcements.
So long, Dutchy.
Just a shame you never had any final words, or any words, really.
No lines. No lines,
Grooters
Dutchy.
turned the mountain inside out looking for
I'm telling you, he's Venom Snake. in this Metal Gear comparison that we're making for all of Magruder's villains.
Oh, a train set piece.
And his arm gets ripped right out of his socket.
Man,
there.
I'm waiting in front of Magruder's mine.
Yep.
But the doors are solid steel. I still don't know how we're getting in.
You're riding on it. Better help me stoke this
We're gonna
fire.
take this
We're gonna
train
go
up
on
to
more
88 miles per hour.
Also, pay attention to their shovels here.
Welcome aboard
That's
the
a lot of
Magruder
coal you're
Express.
putting in there, Cole.
Next stop, end of the line.
Well,
You might want to consider actually putting coal in there. Your
wow,
shovels
the
are
work is
completely
easy when you're
empty.
not actually doing it.
No wonder his shovels were so light.
I always wanted to do that.
Oh, hey, I just filled out my cliche bingo for a card for gun. There. All right. Yep. I always wanted to do that. Was on B16. Hey, I won.
You beat me.
And next time we'll be finishing the main game in the next video. So before we sign off, I just wanted to talk a little bit more about Kivera and the 5 Cities of Gold. Now, it is pretty ridiculous, although most of it is based on like real mythology that actual, that actual Europeans believed in when they came to the New World. You know, they were tricked into believing this whole mystery. Kivera was one of the cities, although there is one part of the main gold plot in Gun that is entirely fictional and not based on any history or historical beliefs, and that is the cross.
And that's the Pony Express.
No, that it's the cross itself.
Okay.
Does the Cross of Coronado ring any bells?
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Exactly. That was
Okay.
made up for the movie. There is no historical precedent for Coronado ever having a golden cross. They're not only stealing from history, they're stealing from a goddamn Indiana Jones movie that was set 40 years after this game. Sorry,
That's
50
a
years.
crime
50, no,
we
it's-
can't
yeah,
let
50
go
years after this
unpunished.
game. Yeah. Oh, man. Anyway, so what do we have to look forward to next video? Probably the single worst level in the game, and a final boss that, even with all of the upgrades, is still a nightmare to fight. And I'm only playing on hard, not on insane. On insane, it's even more ridiculous. Like I think I think on the Xbox 360 version, there's a specific achievement just dedicated to beating the final boss on insane. So, I still have to edit
It's
that
not
part.
over yet, Snake!
That reminds me, I think Cam Clark is not in this game. I'm surprised. You think he would be? He actually does a pretty decent.
They'll have to get.
He does a pretty decent Southern
They'll
accent.
have to get him for Gun 2.
Oh, so there never was a Gun 2, but they sort of teased it. I can't talk about it yet though because it spoils the ending of the game. But at the end of at the end of video 14, I will talk about the sort of the ribbing and teasing that Neversoft did about a potential sequel that never got off the ground.